How's it going, everyone? We are back with another weekly watch list. This is going to be what I'm watching for this upcoming week in the stock market, covering SPY, QQQ, IWM, and SPX. A little bit of ES and NQ in there as well, sometimes, some weeks. But without further ado, let's get into it. So first things first, a little bit of personal update news. Last week, my streak has come to an end. I had 15 straight green weeks. And the 16th week, it got me. I talked about it a little bit on my Twitter, but I believe obviously most of it is due to breaking rules, being undisciplined. I was over trading. Some of the day I was averaging like 4 trades, maybe 5 trades a day. I took like 6 trades on one day. It's just way too many for me. I'm usually the type of person where I take 1 to 2 trades a day. Sometimes there'll be a day where I take 3, but it's usually 1 to 2. And I made the mistake of, there was a few days in there, and honestly even the previous weeks, where I would start the day small red, I'd get back green, whether it was small or normal or whatever, and then go back to red. And then I revenge trade on that 4th trade, lose again. It's like, okay, now I got to shut it down. But these are just mistakes I've been making. And it's like confidence has been a vice and a virtue. Obviously, it's been a virtue because having confidence has significantly changed my trading forever, for years to come. Having confidence in my system, my setups, my execution, and my discipline. But it's also led me to a little bit of overtrading, thinking I can make back losses quickly, that every single trade is going to work out exceptionally well, or as well as the last one did, or whatever. So it has hurt me a little bit, and it's okay. It's just another lesson learned in my journey, and I'm grateful that I got to experience it. So the streak has come to an end, and I'm grateful that I had a 15 green streak. 15 straight weeks of green is huge for me. And out of those 15 weeks, I believe, I have it journaled down, but I believe I had 7 weeks of withdrawals. So before that, you might be saying, well, what did you do with the other green weeks? They were building back my account. I use it for anyone curious. I do use a 2K account, full transparency. And when I reset that account after blowing my first one last year, it wasn't necessarily my first account, my first real account with trading it full time. I ended up bringing that account down about $1,100 in drawdown. So that second 2K account, right? And that's why I really buckled down on my discipline. I buckled down on my system, buckled down on my everything. And I was able to build that account back from that $1,100 drawdown back to even a 2K account, and then start withdrawing from there. So, it took me, 7 weeks or so to build the account back, and then I had another 7-8 weeks or whatever of withdrawals. So that obviously was a huge pivotal time in my trading journey. And during that time, I had a 25-day green streak. And guys, so again, I'm using a 2K account. I'm making max, around 20% of my account per week. I'm anywhere between 10 and 20% of my account per week is usually where I have ended up during that green streak. So just full transparency, guys. I have nothing to hide. I've been trading full time since January 1st of 2023. So it's been 18, 19 months. I feel like I'm in a good spot given the time that I've had. So anyways, let's get into the levels chart, but I did want to share that. It is sad, came to an end, but at the same time, I feel a little bit of relief. Kind of that pressure is a little bit kind of gone. So anyways, I'm excited to just really get back, to buckle down on my discipline. I overtraded, revenge traded a little bit, breaking my rules, and last week, and I'm excited to not do that this week. It's very stressful to do that. Some of it had to do with last week's craziness. Monday, obviously it was an insane day in the market. With that huge red pre-market, the premiums were fucking jacked all week, and that affected my sizing, how many contracts we were trading. I was trading, I usually trade at the money or 1 to 2 out of the money on 1 to 4 date till expiration contracts. But because the contracts are so juiced, I was having to trade on a 1 date till expiration. I was trading $7, $8, $9 out of the money. So it was not pleasant. Anyways, I hope the things return to normal. So looking at the chart. Okay, first thing we're looking at is this fib. If we go to the 4-hour chart, it lines up on SPX as well. Okay, this was a previous fib rejection that we had. If we take this swing high to this swing low, this was a 50 fib, and we rejected it extremely hard. Okay, so then we had another impulse move. So where's the 61 fib? It's this level right here, this 537, which was a previous demand that we had that we were played in a couple weeks ago, right? We played this demand a couple weeks ago that was in Watchlist. So it's a really key level, key area, this whole 537 zone. You could just stretch the zone out all the way over here. Like if I take this and I stretch the zone all the way over here, right? Let's see, I'll probably leave that on the chart. It's a pretty good looking zone, right? So it's a really key level. Okay, it was demand. And we bounced it twice, came down, and we haven't retested it yet. So it's this 4-hour fib. It's this prior support, potentially turned resistance, and we're just below it. So that's my biggest play this week is going to be looking for an entry around this level. We break over previous day high. Sure, you could long this, but it's definitely going to be higher risk. And that this 4-hour fib is going to be right there. So if we do get a sharp pullback this week after a couple green, I feel like that's where it's going to set up. A lot of people I've been seeing on Twitter, TrendSpider or shit like that, fucking, TrendSpider puts out like 50 tweets a day. They think this is a little bit of like a bear flag situation going on here. Going up on declining volume, we've been selling off. I can see that 100%. It looks like a pretty good setup here. So I'll be watching that very close. This could be a swing trade opportunity, maybe just weekly expiration. I'm not talking, several months. I'm talking 7, 10, 14 day, expirations for those contracts. And that's not something I do, but I've missed a few of those setups recently. I've gone over in some of these watch list videos. And if it was such a setup that looks so good as this, I would hate to do that. So we'll see. Nonetheless, it could always day trade it as well. So that's going to be the first thing I'm watching on SPY. It actually does line up on SPX pretty well. If we go to SPX, same thing. If we have this pivot high, this pivot low, just over the previous day high here, we have this level here at 53.80, 84, but this 61 fib lines up right around this 5,400 whole psych number as well. So I really see this could being a really good area for rejection as well. Again, just my opinion, who the hell knows. Okay, so let's go back to SPY real quick. One thing too is like I saw TrendSpider Twitter, like they posted this trend line here, right? It was like on the weekly. Let's actually go back. Let's zoom out on this real quick. From here to here to here, this is like the 1, 2, 3 point trend line, and we broke out, and then we were like retesting that trend line. Again, I don't know about that. I mean, who knows? Like TrendSpider posts a lot of stuff. I'll just say that. I'm just gonna play my levels, my zones, that's it. But it's not bad. If this is a trend line, we broke out of it. We're coming up and retesting this trend line here in this area with the 61 fib, with the previous demand turn to resistance here. I mean, sure, who knows? We'll see. I mean, the market could just be like, we also did this on the daily, right? If we go to the daily or weekly too, doesn't matter. This pivot low to this pivot high, we bounced the final place we could possibly bounce, the 78 fib, which I had marked last week on QQQ and SPY, SPY. And we bounced it. So who knows? I mean, like this could go back to a new all-time high. The point is, who the fuck knows? I'm just going to play my levels, play my chart, and that's it. Simple as that. I'm not looking to catch these crazy moves, right? I'm just looking to catch a piece of the move, of the big move. Simple as that, okay? So let's go over to QQQ then. QQQ, similar situation, 4 hour. Here we go, the 4 hours. So it's a little easier to see. Same thing, 4 hour. This was another fib that we rejected too. I can't remember if it was 61 or 50, but it was this swing high, this swing low, or was it this one? I can't remember. Actually, I think it was this here to here. Anyways, it created a huge rejection here. So now I'm doing the same thing. Pivot high, pivot low, 61 fib, same thing. It lines up in this 453 to 455 zone that I have that we also bounced off very strongly. So now we broke through that strong bounce, retest, and move back down. So that's what I'll be looking at on QQQ. Same thing though, always play my daily levels first. We have yesterday's prior day close. It's this yellow dotted line. Previous day high, previous day low. Below previous day low, my next support's going to be 437. Above previous day high, we kind of get this whole rejection zone 61 fib up here. So that would be more so of an area I might look as it to be a rejection. Okay, so that's what I'll be looking at on QQQ. Just going to the weekly real quick. It was the same type of thing. We bounced this, it was like this golden pocket 78 fib situation. So, we'll see what happens. The volume's obviously crazy. I just want to check out the daily real quick on that. Same thing, going up on lowering volume. So, we could definitely see a little move down here, maybe 437 or even back down here, double bottom at 424. Who knows? We will see. Lastly, let's go to IWM to wrap things up. Poor IWM, the little engine that couldn't. Just like, look at this shit. I think I went over this last week. Beautiful flag, break, huge rip up, FOMC. Look at that rejection. I mean, that's fucking insane. Poor little IWM. Same type of situation here. Kind of looks like a little bit of a flag on the daily. Bear flag going up, declining volume. We do have these gaps though. So, we could push all the way up here to this 214 gap, this 215 gap rather. Same thing, 61 fib on the daily. Swing high, swing low. It is a little bit above that gap as well, so that's a little bit risky, so I'm not sure. We will see about that, but same thing as always. I focus on these first. Previous day high, previous day low. Below previous day low, I have 203 and 290. Above previous day high, my next reject's going to be this 211, and then that can take us up to the gap. And again, the blue dotted lines, for anyone that's new, those are always just previous support and resistance levels that I had charted that didn't necessarily get a proper test. So like this was a strong support in this area over here. We rip right through it. So I just bring it to I call it a potential level, something we could potentially have some action at. I also use them as profit targets. So like if we break above this 211, headed towards this 214, this could be a profit target here at this 213, where we didn't really get a chance to react through. We did bounce a little bit here, then rip right through it. So we'll see. But that's going to be everything. That's going to be everything I'm watching. Those fibs are going to be huge for me this week. But nonetheless, I'm going to use my zones. Those are going to be my guides. Simple as that. SPY was super frustrating on Friday, by the way. Like, holy shit. Trying to get this fucking high a day break was insane. Like, I ended up stopping out of my last trade of the day early, and then it ended up going like 80% later in the day when we finally broke it out. It was just such a pain in the ass. That whole day, Friday, was awful. It is what it is, though, But again, I'm going to play these levels. If we get down on the 15-minute time frame and, we have a clear-cut close below this previous day low, say pre-market low, somewhere in this area, we're already below the pre-market low, I'm going to be looking at getting a short entry down to the zone at 521. It's really that simple. Break, retest, identify my risks, look for profit target, trim as the chart shows based off candlesticks, volume. It's literally, that's how I trade. That's all it is. Really simple. Key levels, price action, volume, confirmation. I use EMAs as well, so those are for extra confluence. Simple as that. All right. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing week inside outside the market. Let's hope for not another red week this week. I doubt that will happen. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna stay disciplined, stick to my pre-market game plan. So thank you guys for watching, and I wish you all a green week and just genuinely a good week inside outside the market. I appreciate every single one of you. Peace.